Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit. Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
We did everything together.
A mother trying to come to terms with incredible heartache.
Now I can't do nothing. No Christmases, no Thanksgiving.
When a young woman is killed by a suspected drunk driver, her grief and her message.
Also today, a lot of wind and rain and temperatures in the 40s. Ben is live with a less than ideal forecast for today, but got a feeling he's going to make up for it a little later in the week.
But we're going to begin with the big news of the day. The end may be near because the UAW and General Motors have a tentative agreement that could put union members back to work. 31 days after members hit the picket line, it appears GM and the UAW are finally on the same page.
The news of this tentative agreement broke right before noon, and we've been digging all day to find out exactly what's in this deal. The strike will continue as the UAW goes through the process of approving this deal, and tomorrow will be a crucial day for members wondering what's next. But we know it's going to be a minute before factories are back up and running. We have team coverage today. Mara McDonald has reaction from union members, but we begin with business editor Rod Maloney. And Rod, you've been working your sources on this. What do you know about what's in this deal?
Well, you know, the UAW leadership is saying that they have attained major gains for the rank and file. And from what we've been able to tell, they have in particular areas like product allocation and also in health care. But of course, neither the company nor the union want to give the details out. So we've needed a crowbar to get what we've been able to get for you this afternoon. Local 4 News has confirmed a number of corners of the final deal. It starts with plant investment, a total of $9 billion, a big step up from the original $2 billion. Most of it will be UAW GM work, but a sizable chunk will go to joint ventures. One of the biggest UAW demands is keeping the best in the nation health care, and it did. GM agrees to enhanced health care at no extra cost. In progression to top pay is a remnant of the bankruptcy. Right now it takes 8 years from beginner to full pay. The new deal cuts that in half, and this matters greatly to temporary employees who should now qualify for in progression after 3 years, and they'll see a signing bonus as well. Now, there are corners of the deal we've not seen but had previously been settled and might have changed in the last minutes. In 2 of 4 years, the rank and file are expected to see 3% raises up from 2% and bonuses in the other 2 years, plus signing bonuses of $9,000. Now, that money is important to those on the picket line because, as labor expert Dr. Arthur Schwartz tells us, the rank and file missed out on 2.5 paychecks.
So this is, say, 5 weeks is $62.50. So this would more than make up for it.
Another one of these is the commitment to build an electric pickup truck at the Detroit Hamtramck assembly plant and also build a new but smaller battery assembly facility near the old Lordstown, Ohio plant. Okay, so this has all come together in highly unusual ways. There have been no marathon negotiations, as you would expect. They're bringing in the subcommittee, the presidents and the chairpeople who have started coming this way, but they did that before they had a tentative agreement. So anything can happen. So the subcommittee hears the contract tomorrow. They could say, kick it back. They could say, approve it. But they also could say that the rank and file might not buy this. So anything could happen. Tomorrow is going to be a very important day for this deal.
Yeah, for sure. Rod, have you had a chance to speak to anyone who will be in that meeting tomorrow? What are they saying?
Well, yes, I've talked to a couple of the presidents who are going to be there, and they are optimistic, but remaining cautiously so, because, like I said, anything could happen, and they are braced for anything to happen.
All right, Rod, we'll be following it. Our coverage also continues with Mara McDonald, who's live in Warren. And Mara, a lot of people, as Rod kind of hinted, this isn't over yet. And some people realize that just because there's a tentative agreement, the picketing, obviously behind you, does not end.
Well, Jace, that's exactly it. And while Rod Maloney has had to take a crowbar out to try and get details on this whole deal, workers here more than happy to say they really hope that this is a good deal and they're ready to hear the details.
If you've been by any of GM's plants over the last month, you've seen UAW workers walking the line in what is now a month-long strike.
We kind of knew it would be long, but we're all here and we're all fighting the cause, trying to get job security, and fight for the younger generation.
A lot of what the workers stress on the line is making the path to full-time employment for temporary workers a priority. It's very much at the front of their minds, along with keeping that Gold Star health care without any increases.
It's been a long month, so we hope that they got what they wanted to get. Most of the people that, like us, with over 30 years in, we're just looking at it, as a retirement thing. But for the younger people, we hope that this 30 days was worth it. In 10, 20 years from now, the temporaries, it will be, full-time, and hopefully they'll move out their 401k pensions.
Back here live, so those workers on the line tonight, very eager to see what happens in Detroit tomorrow morning, what the National Council decides to do. We're live in Warren tonight at GM's Warren Transmission. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Okay, Mara, thank you. And make sure you stay with Local 4 on air and online throughout the talks. Right now on clickondetroit.com, we go into detail on what's next, and we have reaction from the leadership at both GM and the UAW. All right, taking a look at your first forecast now on a very windy Wednesday, and when you consider we're struggling to get out of the 40s today, it is not ideal.
Yeah, you wish those workers could just get off the picket line on a day like this. Well, Ben's delivering the forecast from out of the studio, but he's still inside. He's live at the parade company for the big parade preview party. Hey, Ben.
Jason and Kim, it makes you feel like Thanksgiving when we've got the clouds and the rain and the wind and the cold, but it's all smiles in here because we're going to unveil the brand new float for this year's parade from Art Van coming up in less than a half an hour. And I'm not wearing this just to be fashionable. This is sort of a clue as to what's going to be happening. These flashing dolphins are what everybody's going to be wearing when we show you the new float in a few minutes. Let's show you the forecast because it's not so nice out there. We do have the rain on 4 Live radar. It's light, but it is all around the area, and it's going to continue to rotate as we get through the evening commute. Winds are brisk as well. We'll tell you when those subside and look forward to hopefully a nicer weekend. Your full forecast is coming up in just a few minutes. Kim and Jason, back to you.
Okay, Ben. A mother is heartbroken over the loss of her daughter at the hands of a suspected drunk driver.
Police say Amir Wright was behind the wheel of a car that hit and killed 25-year-old Taniqua Turner. She was walking on 8 Mile near DeQuinder in Detroit this weekend. He faces 3 felony charges in her death, including operating while intoxicated and causing death. Paula Tutman spoke to Taniqua's mother today as she grieves.
So let me give you your bearing. So I'm in Warren right now. This is 8 Mile. 21 feet that way is Detroit. Police say that vehicle coming from that direction, moving westbound, careened into Taniqua Turner and ended her life. The candles have blown out at the makeshift memorial for 25-year-old Taniqua Rose Turner. Police say this man, Amir Wright, was driving impaired Saturday when he plowed into the young woman as she crossed the street.
No Christmases, no Thanksgiving, our baby's birthday coming up. We was pregnant together. He took a life that he don't know what he took.
Florina was 17 when she gave birth to Taniqua, and she says they grew up as mother and daughter and best friends. When Taniqua had her daughter 4 years ago, the two women were actually pregnant together. Today, Taniqua's mother says when that drunk driver took her daughter's life, she took 2 loved ones from her. Because Taniqua shared custody for her daughter with the child's father, she fears that child will be taken from her too.
My nigga, they was doing the bi-weekly thing. And I hear he won't give her back to me. And I told him we could still continue doing the bi-weekly thing, and he said no. I would never see her face no more. She's never coming home. And I just pray to God that is not true. But it is. Just a part of me is gone forever.
It is agony on top of agony on top of agony. And it all could have been avoided with less drinking and more paying attention.
All I kept hearing, the man kept saying he didn't see her. They said she died off the impact of the truck. She died right then and there as soon as he hit her. Don't drink and drive. Watch out for the people that's in the streets that's walking. Don't drive fast. Watch where you're going. If you feel you're gonna drink and drive, just stay at home and drink. Don't just get behind the wheel.
Paula Tutman, Local 4.
In addition to her 4-year-old daughter you saw there, Taniqua also leaves behind 6 brothers. Wright is expected to be in court again later this month. In Taylor, a man is killed after being hit by an SUV early this morning.
Police say the man was walking across Telegraph Road near Pennsylvania when he was hit. The driver told investigators he didn't see the man. Police say that driver stopped at the scene and is cooperating with this investigation. Meanwhile, an investigation underway tonight after a body is found behind a vacant home in Detroit. We're told the body was found around 10 this morning in the area of 7 Mile and Hawthorne. Police say they don't know yet how the person died or if there are any suspects in that person's death.
River Rouge schools are suing Mayor Duggan, DDOT, and Outfront Media. The school district says it had a contract with Outfront Media to run ads on DDOT buses. It's alleged before the contract began, the ads were pulled because the mayor didn't want other districts advertising in Detroit. DDOT's interim director calls the claims utter nonsense. Much more to come here at 5.
Yeah, here's Hank.
Kimberly, Jason, we are live here on the east side. Take a look over my shoulder. There is a popular park here, a school. Normally there are kids everywhere. And right here, there was a big danger. Help me, Hank, live right after the break.
Okay, Hank, and a Michigan student wears a hazmat suit to class all this week. What he says was found inside his school that he wants to be far, far away from. Sean.
It's 3 years to the day since this beautiful teenager, Jada Rankin, was shot and killed.
My heart is so heavy.
Tonight, her heartbroken mother's message as she hopes for a break in her daughter's case.